Dear participants, faculty advisors and other viewers. Welcome to the closing ceremony of the RSM Star Online Case Competition 2020. We had some technical difficulties, so sorry for the delay, but I believe we are live right now. Thank you so much for joining us from all over the world, and we are looking forward to closing off this week together. I will be here today with my colleagues Katinka and Matthijs, who will support me in closing this week. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, our other committee members, Pim, Simone and Fabio, are not here today, but they are supporting us from home. Today, we will look back on the wonderful week that we have had, and we will have some video calls with all the people that were involved in the competition, like the case partners and most importantly, the winners of the 24-hour and the 6-hour case. But first of all, I would like to look back on the week that we have had together. We started the week off 1 week ago with the opening ceremony in the studio at the Erasmus University. Afterwards, we had an amazing social session where we finally got to meet all of the participants. Then, on Monday, the teams solved the 6-hour case. The 6-hour case was a quite challenging case provided by Royal Philips. But Katinka will tell you something more about that later on. Luckily, we had some very talented students who were eager to solve the case, and I believe they did a very good job in doing so. Later on, we will also have a call with Mr. Grube, who will tell you something more about Royal Philips and about why certain teams have won the case. On Tuesday, we had our first Q&A session. Here, a panel of diverse and experienced judges helped to review all of these solutions. We really want to thank the judges to take the time to review the solutions and ask critical questions to the participants. Then, on Wednesday, we had the social highlight of the week, the pub quiz. Fabio and Matthijs did a really good job in hosting this pub quiz, and they had prepared some very tricky questions about the countries that the participating teams are from. I want to congratulate Ethaniel because he won the pub quiz by answering only one question incorrectly. His prize, an RSM sweater, will come his way very soon. Then, on Thursday and Friday, we had the 24-hour case was provided to us by a collaboration of Yink, Voorgoed, and Coca-Cola European partners. Together, they are trying to be a force for positive change by bridging the gap of inequality in Rotterdam. The participants did a very good job in solving this case, even though it was quite a challenge to stay awake for 24 hours to solve the case. Then, yesterday, we had our second Q&A session. Again, a wonderful panel of diverse judges was present to critically review the solutions. I also want to thank these judges for giving up their free time in order to help us review the solutions. I must say that all the judges were very impressed by the case solutions that the teams provided. Also, we believe that the participants will learn a lot from the feedback that the judges provided. So, that brings us to the last day of the competition week. Today, the closing ceremony. I want to thank you so much for the wonderful week that we have had. And I also want to thank everyone for the very positive and enthusiastic messages that we have received throughout the week. Now I want to ask Katinka to tell you something more about the 6-hour case. And then afterwards, Matthijs will announce the 3rd place, the 2nd place, and of course the winner of the 6-hour Royal Philips case. Katinka.
Yes, thank you, Lisa. So for the 6-hour case, we were fortunate enough to have the chance to partner up with Royal Philips to create the case. And I think together we created a wonderful case about outside-in innovation. The case revolved around Philips' worldwide innovation hubs, their customers, and also the partnerships they have. I think it was a very challenging but interesting case, and the participants came up with some great solutions. Now, without any further ado, I would like to go to the revelation of who won the 6-hour case.
All right. So, I would like to ask Matthijs to get into the stream so that he can announce the winners of the 6-hour case. All right. We will take some time to make sure that Matthijs can get into the live stream, and then we will finally see who won the 6-hour case.
Hello everyone. It is my honor to announce the 3rd and 2nd place of the 6-hour case. But first I would like to say well done to all participating teams. You have provided us with a wide range of diverse solutions, and I'm sure that the case partner is very happy to have received all your solutions. Of course, there can only be one winner. For all pools, a pool winner was chosen by the jury for that pool. Afterwards, these pool winners would progress to the final round. In this final round, all heads of jury came together, so 3 heads of jury in this final round had to make the tough decision of choosing one winner for the 6-hour case. In this final round, all juries would re-evaluate the solutions of the pool winners and would also take into account your questions, your answers to their questions in the Q&A rounds. After a tough discussion, one winner was chosen. First, I would like to turn to the team that came in 3rd place. In this solution, the jury especially liked the problem sourcing element. Mr. Gruben of Royal Philips will also tell you more about the team that came in 3rd. Without further ado, the 3rd place team is HKUST. Alright, well done HKUST for coming in the third for the 6-hour case. I'm sure Mr. Gruben will tell you some kind words. Then I would like to move on to the team that came in second place. What the jury enjoyed in this solution was the concreteness and completeness of the answer. The team that came in second is Belgrade. Well done Belgrade for coming in second in the 6-hour case. This means that the winner must come from pool 2. Without further ado, let's move on to the announcement of the winner. Corvinus University of Budapest. Congratulations. You came in first in a 6-hour case. It was a tough case, but you provided us with the best solution.
Alright. Congratulations Corvinus University, first of all. You did a really good job. Now, if the technology allows us to, we would love to have a call with Jeroen Grube. He will tell you more about the winning solutions. Alright. Hello Jeroen Grube.
Hello, Lisa. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Lisa and Matthijs and the rest of the organizing committee. And thank you all participants for allowing Philips to be part of this fantastic event this week. The event of RSM Star, the largest European student association. And this year's theme, being a force for positive change, fits very well with our company Philips actually, because it's our mission, our purpose to improve the lives of people through meaningful innovation. And this also fits with all of you, of course, because by raising your hand and stepping up, and I'm sure burning some midnight oil this week while solving the 24-hour case, by going the extra mile, you all give meaning to driving positive change. As Katinka already spoke about, the title of the Philips case this year was The World as Our Lab, How to Innovate with Customers and Markets. This case came about because Philips is changing from a product supplier to an integral solutions provider. And also technology is changing rapidly. Think about the digitalization going on, for example. Now with COVID-19 happening around the world, we see that healthcare solutions built on telehealth, delivering care from a distance, are seeing rapid acceptance and deployment. But we also realize as Philips that we cannot innovate alone. We'll have to do this together with our customers and together with our markets. And that was what this case was about. And also together with you as students, because you will be the leaders of the future. Well, we heard already from the organizing committee some feedback of you after working on the case last Monday. A statement like it was very challenging, we heard back. But we also heard back we had a lot of fun as a team. So that's good. Okay, before I speak a few more words about the winning team, Corvinus, and by the way, very nice announcement of the winning team with the rolling logos. Let me first spend a few more words on the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology team, which was judged by the jury consisting of Koray Karakaya, Rob van der Klei and Martijn Rademakers. So this is about the work done by Mackenzie, by Philip, by Ethan and Nathan as great runners-up of this year's 6-hour case. Well, this team really did their homework, the jury found. They discovered about Philips HealthWorks and they introduced our dreams. In our dreams, they see Philips as a facilitator, and they brought forward the concept of externalizing R&D. They also looked at the social return on investment of their proposals, which was, of course, a very nice element and comes very close to what Philips is all about. In their program, they basically set up 3 stages, which had to do with an internal R&D phase, then a competition phase to bring out the best proposition amongst the ideas gathered, and then an incubation phase in which this idea gets further scaled and developed. They also brought forward a strong integration with the innovation hubs that we have as Philips around the globe. So that was a good connection to the case. They spoke about KPIs, good qualification, the jury said, although the quantification of the key performance indicators could have been a bit deeper. To summarize our dreams, the team compared it with NASA's moonshots, a very ambitious and courageous proposal. All in all, a very clear presentation done by the team and a very clear video. And one notable effect, the mission or the task of the organizing committee was to record a video within 15 minutes. And the team recorded a video of 14 minutes and 59 seconds exact. So, compliment to the team for that. Then, let me switch to the second runner-up. And then I have to change paper. The second runner-up, Belgrade University. The team of Dunja, Filip, Dusan, and Vladimir. This team was judged by the judges Eva Rood, Paul Thijssen, and myself. And we thought this team did a very good analysis of the case that was provided. The core of their proposition was that they positioned Philips in an ecosystem where they added value by building and leveraging the knowledge that we have as a company, the brand reputation that we enjoy as a company, and our Philips network. But they also looked at alternatives well. So not jumping into one solution only. They looked at investing in wearable technologies. They looked at things like partnering up with smartphone manufacturers. And they also nicely connected their solution to the Philips quadruple aim and the sustainable development goals. In fact, the team brought forward 3 additional linkages to 3 other sustainable development goals, which the jury also found impressive and creative. The idea that this team of Belgrade University brought forward is really about an ecosystem called Spark. It's an online platform connecting our hospitals with health tech startups, startup companies in the health tech area. The team looked at the operational aspects of that, and they looked at the client experiences. And finally, the team looked at the financials and did a very good and solid risk analysis. This team passed the 15-minute limit. Not much, but they passed it. Aye, aye. But all in all, a very good solution and a very good presentation and a very nice video. Well done, Team Belgrade. With the 2 runners-up covered, let me now move to the winner of this year's 6-hour case competition, team of Corvinus University of Budapest, as you have heard and seen in the clip before. So this is the team of Levente, Zoltan, Attila, and Anna. Congratulations, team. The judges, the jury for this pool consisted of Kors van Wijngaarden, Hendrik Sijsverda, and Adrie Meidam. This team started with a very thorough analysis of healthcare in its totality and its ecosystem. And after having done that, they identified 2 bottlenecks, a bottleneck in data sharing and a bottleneck in knowledge sharing. And an example they gave about the latter, the knowledge sharing, is that in today's worldwide crisis around the COVID-19, researchers are sharing data and insights via Twitter. And the team thought that could be done in a better way. Also, this team made good references to the innovation hub setup and how to get customers and hospitals connected. The team sees Philips as a facilitator and the owner of an information data platform to connect connect the healthcare providers with research institutes, with governing bodies, and with solution providers. They also looked at the security aspects of sharing data and knowledge, and how blockchain, for example, could help with that. Then they eliminated roadblocks and came up with ways to go from a linear model of innovation to a more cyclical model of innovation, where all stakeholders take their equal share and contribution. They thought about how to scale the innovation ecosystem, and they spoke about turning local knowledge into global knowledge and vice versa, using global collected knowledge to make it locally relevant. And that's something that impressed the jury a lot. They introduced Philips DeepMind as a knowledge sharing platform supported by AI, and they elaborated on various aspects on how to implement that knowledge sharing platform, which were very concrete proposals where we really can act on as a company. And they also involved the Philips Foundation to reduce inequality in the world. In addition to all this, they also had a good look at the Philips financials. They showed how this solution will increase revenue, but also support our mission to improve the lives of 3 billion people per year by 2030. All in all, the jury found this a very good solution proposal, a very good presentation deck, and a very good video. So, Team Corvinus, congratulations and very well done. Before handing it back, we discussed in the jury of pool 3 that there was one more team that we wanted to mention. This team that I'm about to mention did not make it to the final round of pool winners, but it was a team out of China that did a very good job in working on the case and converting from their home quarantined settings that proved very challenging, bandwidth-wise and stability-wise. The team had to overcome firewalls and all kinds of technical challenges, and that really compromised their time left to work on the case. But still, they did it. On top of that, they then suffered problems to upload the video that they recorded, and they had to do it 3 times before it worked. So, in order to recognize those challenges, but also the perseverance that this team, and I'm talking about the Chinese University of Hong Kong Shenzhen team, to recognize the perseverance, the jury wanted to call out a Perseverance Recognition Award for this great team. Okay, that said, let me see where I am. I think I have covered all that I wanted to say, except for a few things. I want to take some time to thank all the teams and all the students again for participating. In a way, you are all winners already by having joined this event and the competitions this week. You are all a force for positive change, and I expect a lot of all of you in the future. I also want to thank the Erasmus RSM and the STAR Student Association, and also the Case Development Center of RSM that did a great job in developing the case with us. And I especially want to thank the organization committee. Thanks also to my fellow jury members for helping the judges' solutions and presentations, which were all world class. Thank you, teams. Back to you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Jeroen, for taking the time to give us such detailed feedback. I believe that's actually very important, because for the teams, the biggest goal that they have is developing themselves. And then, give me one moment. What was I saying? Well, I believe that this week really contributes to the personal development of all the teams. And because all the judges are willing to give such feedback, the teams really get the chance to improve themselves. Alright, so as we just mentioned, the winner of the 6-hour case is the Corvinus University of Budapest. We hope that the technology allows us to call with them and to see their reaction. Alright, let me switch to you. Hello, do you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, yes. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Perfect. Well,
Thank you
first
very
of
much.
all, congratulations to you and your team. Is there anything you would like to say?
Yes, let me shout out first to Philips because actually we were surprised by the case when it launched on Monday because we prepared a lot, but we could not anticipate that Philips is working on such a big thing. And we really enjoyed the case because of this, because there are real problems in the healthcare industry, and Philips is really working on it to solve it. And we enjoyed that we could be a part of it.
Thank you so much. Could you tell us something more about how the case solving worked for you?
In which aspect?
So how did you work as a team when you couldn't, for example, meet in real life?
Yes, actually, if you have a clear framework how to solve a case, then if you can't meet, if you have to do it online, it doesn't matter because it's all about talking actually. If you use the right tools and you have the right framework, the online part doesn't matter. It's case solving anyways.
All right, great to hear. And how did you experience the Q&A session?
The Q&A was also good. And I think the hard part was that we had to look into the camera to be really trustful when we answered. But I think the Q&A was manageable too in this online environment.
All right, that's very great to hear. Do you have any advice for any other team that would like to solve a case just as well as you did?
Well, actually, I think these two cases were really difficult, and really difficult because these are real issues and there are real challenges. So what I advise the other teams that before you try to come up with a solution, you should understand why the company is working on this at first. So what are the bottlenecks, what are the challenges, what the stakeholders think. And after that you understand this, then you should start to come up with solutions. And then the solution will be more effective.
All right, thank you so much. Well, this award that we have here will come your way. And we really hope that Corvinus University will participate in the RSM Star Case Competition 2020 again, 2021. And of course, we hope that that time it will be in real life. So thank you so much for calling into the live stream, and we look forward to seeing you at the social sessions again.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
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 All right. So after that, we will now have a call with Otto Koppius. Otto Koppius is someone who has been very important for the RSM Star Case competition for many years. Mainly because he has a vast experience in case competitions. He has been to many case competitions around the world, and he knows how to organize a good competition. He has provided us with great support and with great advice over the course of the past year. And he would now like to tell the participants something more about the importance of case solving and the importance of case competitions for your future career. So I hope we can connect with Otto now. Let's see. All right, in case Otto is not yet in the live stream, I will first tell you some, oh, wait. I believe we have a connection. Otto, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. And I
Perfect.
hope you can hear me.
I can hear you very well. So, first of all, I want to thank you now that I'm talking to you. I want to thank you once again for your great support.
You're welcome.
And I would like to ask you to tell the team something more about the importance of case solving.
Yes.
I believe we have a connection.
Yes. So,
Can you hear us?
yes, I can hear you, and I hope you can hear me. So, as Lisa was saying, I've been involved with the case competition and the case society for
Once again,
quite a
great
while.
support.
And
And I would like to ask you to tell the team something more.
what I would,
Oh, wait.
yes,
I believe we have a connection.
yes. So, yes, I can hear you. My apologies, there's a slight delay on the call. I'll pause for a second. Lisa was saying, I've been involved with the case competition and the case society for quite a while. And
Okay.
what I would, yes,
I believe we have a connection.
yes. So, yes, I can hear you. My apologies, there's a slight delay on the call. I'll pause for a second. I've been involved with the case competition and the case society for quite a while. And
Okay.
what I would,
I believe we have a connection.
yes. So, yes, I can hear you. My apologies, there's a slight delay on the call. I'll pause for a second. I've been involved with the case competition and the case society for quite a while. And what I would,
So our sincerest apologies. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. I hope that we can get back to Otto as soon as possible once these difficulties are resolved.
For now, I think we can start with the introduction of the 24-hour case. So for the 24-hour case, we were lucky enough to be able to cooperate with not just one organization, but 3. So we want to thank Coca-Cola European partners, as well as Jink and Voorgoed, that they collaborated with us to create such an amazing case. I think it was a very interesting case because it highlights some of the biggest social challenges that we deal with in Rotterdam. The theme of the case also incorporated 2 of the Sustainable Development Goals, since our theme of the week was a force for positive change. These goals were the Sustainable Development Goals number 10 and 17, namely reducing inequality and partnerships to achieve goals. I think the case gave a good feeling of the city of Rotterdam to our participants, even though they couldn't be here during this week. I was very impressed. I think I can speak for all of us. We were very impressed with the results that the participants came up with in just 24 hours. I think without any further ado, we will now reveal the top 3 winners of the 24-hour case.
Right, first I think it's time to let my cameraman pass through the screen so he can get back to his camera actually. Yes. So, for the 24-hour case, the same procedure was used in selecting the winners. First of all, for every pool, there was a pool winner that was chosen by the pool juries. Then again, all these pool winners progressed to the final round, in which all heads of juries had the difficult task to choose one team as the winner of the 24-hour case. But first, I would like to address to the teams that I have so much respect that they were able to solve this case at a distance. This case was revolved around Rotterdam, and the teams from all over the world managed to give us an insightful solution on a city that they might have even never visited. Also, staying awake for 24 hours is really impressive. As a committee member, I had to stay awake for 6 hours in order to answer some questions that all teams might have, and these 6 hours were already difficult for me, so let alone 24 hours I can't imagine how hard it is. So after these first remarks, I would like to move on to the third place team. The team that came in third place chose a very focused approach instead of a broader approach. The jury enjoyed this very much. The team that provided the solution is... can we switch in the screen? All right. The team that provided the solution was the Korea University Business School. Well done, KUBS. Then I will move on to the team that came in second place. This team did a really good job in addressing the root cause of the problem, and the jury thought this was extremely well done. The team that came in second place is HKUST. Congratulations again, HKUST, for finishing in the top 3. You did a tremendous job in both our cases. This remains me with one final team to be announced, and that is the winner of the 24-hour case. The winner of the longest case in the competition, and well, it might be even the hardest job they had to do during this week. I will not let you wait any longer. We begin with the announcement of the team that came in first place. The University of St. Gallen. You did a great job, and I would like to congratulate you on winning the 24-hour case. With some technical difficulties, we don't have a call yet with Coca-Cola. Therefore, I would like to give the word to Katinka, my colleague, to tell you something more about the cool initiative we used during this competition, which are the I will statements, which also align well with the theme of this competition, a force for positive change. Katinka, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Matthijs. I'd like to elaborate a little bit indeed. The mission of the Rotterdam School of Management, where our case competition was hosted, is a force for positive change. This is one of the reasons for us that we chose the theme of our week to be a force for positive change as well. The I Will initiative is very much in line with this theme, and even though the participants couldn't be in Rotterdam this week, we still wanted them to think about what their force for positive change would be. How do they want to be a force for positive change for the world? That's why we asked them to come up with the I Will statements, and we had a lot of great ones. Before we take a look at the I Will statements of our participants, we like to give you a look into the I Will statements of our own committee. So here you see the 6 of us and our I Will statements. We thought long and deep about this, about how we wanted to be a force for positive change by being a member of this committee and by organizing the case competition. For example, our chairman, Lisa, chose the statement, I will connect people to create synergies.
Myself, I chose to have the following I will statement. I will spend wisely to make a positive impact. I chose this statement because I'm the treasurer of the committee, and I had to make sure that we made the right choices in terms of how to spend our money.
Now I would love to take a look at the amazing I Will statements that our participants came up with. Here we see some examples of the I Will statements that our participants came up with. For example, I will bring out the best in people. I will help promote inclusivity in this world. I will work hard towards creating a better world for tomorrow, and I will smile and make others smile too, all day, every day. I think each of these statements are very inspiring, and we could all use a little bit of force of positive change in our lives. I think this is the right time to try and see if we can reach Otto again, so maybe he can finish his story.
Yes.
I'm now back with a much better connection. So thank you very much. And as I was saying earlier, I've been involved with the case competition and with the case society for a long time. And on one hand, I could tell you a lot about what, let's say, case solving does. But I actually want to talk a little bit more about something more fundamental that underlies case solving in these competitions. Before I do, though, I do want to highlight especially our case partners, because in the current situation, it would have been easy for both Philips as well as Jink, for Goeds and Coca-Cola. Thank you very much, Hans, for being here again. It would have been very easy for all of you to say, oh, you know what, we can't do it, it's too difficult. But you decided to stick with us. You believed in this competition and you decided to go ahead and together with the organizing committee, pull off this great competition. When, as case partners, you could have withdrawn, but you didn't. And thank you very much. That is very much appreciated. But as mentioned, I want to say something a little bit more about, let's say, the fundamentals of a competition like this. And for that, I actually don't want to talk too much about case solving per se, because there's lots of skills that you learn and that your case advisors will have taught you and that some of you showed. But in order to highlight this more fundamental idea, I actually want to talk about sports. And the reason I want to talk about sports is personally, I'm fascinated by sports. I teach courses on sports management besides case solving, and I'm heavily involved in coaching Dutch rowers up to very high levels. But I actually don't want to talk about rowing. I want to talk about a sport that maybe not everybody of you is familiar with, triathlon. And more specifically, I want to talk about a legendary triathlon that took place in 1989. And this was the Ironman triathlon in Hawaii, that in the end went down in history as the Iron War. And what happened there? There were two competitors, Dave Scott and Mark Allen. And throughout the years, they've been competing against each other, but they hadn't really competed in this Ironman together when they were both at their peak. And in 1989, they were both at their peak. And they were competing. And after the 5 kilometer swim, they were 1 second apart. And after the swim comes a 180 kilometer bicycle ride. After that 180 kilometers, they were still 1 second apart. And after that 180 kilometer bicycle ride, they have to run a marathon. And they started side by side. And both of them, they tried to push away from each other. They tried to see if they could get away from the competition, which by that time was only themselves. And at around 35 kilometers, they were still side by side. Nothing could separate them. Those of you that know a little bit about marathon is that the 35K, that's when things really, 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 really start to hurt. That's where the man with a hammer is ready to strike you and say, that's enough. And you should know at this stage, both of them were running far beyond world record pace. And without necessarily wanting to give away too much of the story, in the end, they were so fast that the time they ran at the marathon stood as a record in the triathlon for more than 25 years. They were driving each other, to great heights, pushing each other beyond the limits. And at 35K, at that point where everything hurts, one of them, Mark Allen, was thinking, okay, if I want to win this, I need to find something else. I need to push beyond my limits even further. And I don't know how to do it. I can't go on. Every fiber in my body is hurting. There's nothing I have to give. I cannot do anything more. What am I doing here? I don't want to be here. He was having all these crazy thoughts about what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then at some point, between the 35 and the 36K, he had a realization. He said, no, wait a minute. I want to be here. This is where I belong. I want to be here as a competitor. And more importantly, I want to be here as a competitor right next to Dave Scott. Because even though we're competitors, we need each other. I need Dave Scott to get the maximum out of myself. And he needs me to get the maximum out of himself. And together, as we're both trying to push each other to maximum height so that we can reach maximum height. Yes, this is where I want to be. And I know it hurts, and I know everything feels pain, and I'd much rather be lying in the pool right now than running a marathon at a 2 hour and 40 minute pace, which is insanely fast after you've already swam 5K and cycled 180K. But that realization of, I need to be here and I need to have my competitors here, that gave him the power to say, oh, you know what, I can do one final push. And he found the extra energy because competition is such a social phenomenon. Competition is not just, trying to beat your competitors. It's actually using your competitors to make yourself better. And I think that notion of the essence of competition, that puts an extra layer on top of all the purely cognitive skills that you learn as part of case solving, about solving the problems for, our wonderful case partners, for Philips, for Jink, for Goed, for Coca-Cola. But for you as participants, that's who I want to talk to, because we often forget the role of participants. And I do want to highlight that the essence of competition is being here all together as competitors. So regardless of whether you won or not, what you did during this competition is you helped others improve, and others helped you improve. And even though there was no social event, we didn't get together in a big room. There was no nice flight to wonderful place and lovely social events. You chose to be here. You chose to take that Mark Allen moment of, I need to be here. I want to be here. I want to compete. I want to be in this environment of testing my skills and helping me improve myself. So regardless of how you felt you performed, regardless of where you ended up, you helped to improve others and others helped to improve you. And that is the essence of competition. And you as participants, much like the partners, you could have said, this is too difficult, an online competition. I don't want to be here. You chose to be here, and you embody this essence of competition with your competitors, helping to improve everyone. And for embodying that essence of the competition and for participating in the RSM Star Case competition, I want to thank you very much.
As we had some technical difficulties, we kind of changed the program a little bit. So we have already announced the winner of the 24-hour case. So if the technology allows us to, we would already like to have a video call with the winners of the 24-hour case, St. Gallen. Hey guys!
Yeah, we're here.
Can you hear us?
Hey. Yes.
Are you guys happy?
Oh yeah.
So happy.
Great to hear that. So, can you tell us something more about how your case solving process went?
Well, this case was really different to us because it was very Rotterdam specific and none of us have ever visited. So we had to do a lot of research and get ourselves acquainted, but I'm sure I can say for all of us that we learned so much from this case. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
That is very great to hear. I also would like to hear, how many hours of sleep did you have during the case solving?
I got 3. I got 4.
4.
Yeah.
Respect to you guys. And which challenges did you face during case solving?
Research was hard,
Yeah.
I say, because a lot of sources were in Dutch, and we relied on Google Translate a lot.
That's a smart way to do it, though. Yeah, so when we created the case, we were still thinking that you were going to visit us here in Rotterdam. So when we had to switch to an online format, we had to rewrite the case in order for it to be understandable while all the participants were all over the world. So I think you did a very good job in understanding Rotterdam, even though you have never been there before. So could you tell us something more about how the dynamics in your team work? Does each team member, for example, have a different role?
Well, this is actually the first time this team worked together. We were supposed to have another team, but they weren't available. So we were from the same case class, but it was the first time. And on the right, you see our financial boy. He takes care of all the numbers, and we bounce back to him for any number that we might have. Keith is our analysis guy. I'm strategy, and Tina ties everything together with implementation, risk mitigation, summary, and intro. So yeah, that's kind of our allocation.
Very nice, very nice. And how did you practice in advance of the competition?
We practice.
Or did you not practice?
No, we had a boot camp. Our coach, Simon, he's not with us here today, but he hosted a boot camp for us, and we ran through like some strategies. But we actually only had 2 days to work together as a team before the competition started. We started the Friday before the competition to work together, so it was like very intense 2 days. And yeah, we'd like to actually thank our coach here, because he was with us every step of the way. He was there for us during right after Q&As for feedback, even though he just welcomed birth his 3rd child, actually last week. So we'd really like to thank him and all the time that he gives us and all the feedback.
Thank you, Simon.
Wow. Thank you.
That's amazing to hear. And I think you did a very good job, especially hearing that you didn't have a lot of time to practice together. That's very nice. Then lastly, I would like to ask you, how did the Q&A go? Did you receive challenging questions?
Yeah, we actually did, but we always kind of enjoyed Q&A because we liked, communicating with the sponsors, and they were extremely nice to us actually for the Q&A, and we had a good time talking about the ideas and narrowing out the details and all of that. And we also like to really thank the sponsors for both of the cases because we enjoyed doing both of them very much, even though the first one has some technical difficulties, but we enjoyed both.
Well, that's very good to hear. I want to congratulate you once again. As I already just mentioned, this award will come your way. We are quite happy that you're located quite close to the Netherlands so that we don't have to ship the award all the way to the other side of the world. So we love that you participated in our competition, and we hope to see St. Gallen next year at the competition of 2021, hopefully in real life.
Definitely. Thank you so much for organizing everything and helping us with our, technical difficulties and everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great to hear. Enjoy your day and see you at the social sessions.
Thank
All
you.
right, very nice. So now, Katinka already touched upon the I will statements. We have some other students who have also sent their I will statements to us. So maybe we can have a look at them.
So I think these I will statements are, as mentioned as the other ones as well, very interesting. And I think it's notable to say that all of the I will statements that were sent in and can give anybody an inspiration for a force for positive change are extremely nice and is great for everybody to have in their lives. So here we see the other I will statements, such as I will be kind, empathic with everyone and encourage others to do so, which I think is very inspirational because we live in a society where sometimes, everybody's fixated on their own, and it can be nice to have a source of empathy and be nice to everyone. So yeah, I'd like to highlight that.
Thank you very much. So let's see. I would like to try whether we can have a video call with Hans. Hans van Bochhoven, who was involved in the 24-hour case.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. So then we're good.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, you're welcome. And first of all, of course, I would also like to congratulate the team from St. Gallen for winning this business case competitions edition of 2020. And I would definitely like to spend a few words on behalf of the jury on that. But before doing so, please allow me that, on behalf of both Yink, For Good and Coca-Cola, who were the partners for the 24-hour business case, I first want to say, once more that it's been a pleasure, working with you all on a case that we believe will be more relevant than ever, given the unimaginable impact that COVID-19, is going to have on our collective socio-economic future. So the case could not have been, I think, more relevant and more timely than it was, and it was not intended this way, as you can imagine, but still. And instead, of going directly to the cases, I would also like to stress how impressed we were as a jury with the way that the RSM Star Case Competition Commission has also been able to turn what used to be a live event into an online event, and particularly in such a short notice, which may become an example of our new normal, the way that we communicate with each other. But nevertheless, I want to congratulate Lisa and your whole team, for pulling this off for all of us in such a short notice and in such a professional way. So thank you very much, for doing that.
Thank you.
We also, as the jury, want to thank all the teams for their enthusiasm and hard work on what we believe is delivering great analysis, but at the same time also very effective and creative solutions. And as Coca-Cola, we've been involved now for several years with the case competition organized by the STAR Committee. And each edition, it's fair to say that we are impressed with the quality of the output. It's amazing to see how much a group of motivated, top-notch students can do in just 24 hours. And imagine getting acquainted with a situation, a case that you've never been involved with before, doing a very deep, thorough analysis, developing effective and creative solutions to solve the challenge, present it in a convincing and powerful way, and then also still look fresh, the moment that you have to present it, whichever time zone you live in. And I want to congratulate, all the teams for that achievement, because that is, what it is. It's great to see. Having said all that, you will understand and appreciate that at this level of performance, there are no bad cases. I mean, there are only good cases. But you will also understand that in a competition, there can only be one winner. That's the whole idea of having the competition, of course, to begin with. And the jury, judged each case on a set of fixed parameters, ranging from, the quality of your analysis, the quality of your risk assessment, the quality of your presentations, and ultimately had to put forward, one winner per pool. And you can imagine that wasn't easy at this level. And then the heads of jury had an even more difficult task, because they had to choose and decide, from the three finalists, who would definitely win this case competition. And, for us as a jury, it was very interesting to see that, though of similar high quality, each of the three finalists had chosen a somewhat, different scope for their solution. And if we, for example, look to the team of South Korea, they had chosen a more, comprehensive approach, not just looking at poverty through an economic and an educational lens, but also, for example, taking the psychological effects into consideration. the team from Hong Kong had taken a more deep approach, if you like, focusing on education as the key, to lift out of poverty, but then following up with a longer term career counseling project. And then finally, the team from St. Gallen took a somewhat broader approach, also focusing on education, but equally at stimulating social entrepreneurship as a parallel track to the solution. And then, when you're looking at these three cases that, rivaled each other in quality, and as all the approaches that were put forward by the finalists are valid solutions, as a jury, you can get stuck. So we introduced 2 additional selection criteria to make our choice. And we looked at the extent to which any solution could almost be instantly implemented and also would be relatively affordable. So, not too many, fundraising to be had for that. And this ultimately led us to choose the Horizon project from St. Gallen to be the winner of the 2020 RSM Star business case competition. And maybe just a few words on the case itself and why we believed it was strong. Indeed, there was a very strong analysis, and the team clearly searched for clues and data beyond the information that was provided in the case itself. They found good best practices that they leveraged to design their solution. They included a customer journey. Actually, they included 2 customer journeys because they had 2 parallel tracks to guide the presentation with a before and an after situation. Indeed, we found that the solution put forward was very practical and also very consistent, 2-pronged, and it remained clear throughout that whole presentation. So we were at no point in the presentation confused about what was the proposal and on which track were we talking. The implementation plan was very well timed, so it was detailed, it was timed, and as said, one of the jurors actually said, we can almost instantly implement and finance this solution, and that ultimately had us come to that final conclusion. And what else can a client actually wish for than a solid analysis and a proposal that you can almost immediately use? So I would like to conclude once more by congratulating the Commission and all the teams for the fabulous work that you've done, and particularly St. Gallen for winning this challenge. And from my side and also from the jury side, I'd like to thank you very much and wish you, of course, all the very best in what is to come in your career, and shorter term, of course, also wish that you stay healthy and safe. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. van Boeghoven, for taking the time on this Sunday afternoon to speak to the teams and speak to us. We really appreciate your valuable feedback, and we hope to collaborate with you in the future again. And of course, we hope that the solutions will be of use to be a force for positive change. Thank
Absolutely,
you so much.
I'm sure they will.
Day.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
All right. So now I would like to move on to addressing a very exciting development that has been going on over the course of the past year. Originally, the Case Competition Committee was an entity that operated separately from the Case Society. The Case Society is the entity within RSM that is responsible for training RSM students in case solving skills and also sending the most skilled students abroad to international case competitions to represent RSM. At the beginning of this year, led by the Star Board, the Case Competition Committee took the initiative to actually intensify the collaboration with the Case Society Board. This has led to a consolidation that will help both entities to expand the case solving community at RSM even more. I am therefore very, very proud to announce to you that the Case Society and the Case Competition will go on together as the RSM Star Case Club. For this, I would really like to thank Saleh. Saleh is the chairman of the Case Society Board, and he has put a lot of effort into this consolidation over the past year. I would also really like to thank Tommy. Tommy is the chairman of the STAR board and he is also our supervisor. Tommy has also put a lot of effort into this consolidation and it took quite some perseverance, quite some creativity and patience to make this work, and I believe he did a phenomenal job doing so. I would also like to thank all the other Case Society board members who also have invested a lot of efforts. And of course I would like to thank my own committee for always being present at the meetings where we were thinking about how the Case Club could be organized. So I am really looking forward to seeing how the Case Club will grow in the upcoming years and how the case solving community at RSM will expand. So this brings me to my next speaker. I already introduced him shortly. It's Tommy van Thiel, who is both STAR's chairman, but also our supervisor who has really done a lot for us in the past months. Hi, Tommy.
Hi, Lisa. Good afternoon. I hope that you can hear me.
We can.
Great. Well, then let's start. Dear organizing committee, dear Kako, I'm extremely proud to be able to speak to you here today. But before I will tell you more about the organizing committee, please let me thank a few others involved first. First of all, and as you mentioned before, the RSM STAR Case Society. Thank you for your continuous support. Your knowledge and experience has significantly helped to create this case competition, even after we switched to this online format. By doing so, you created a great precedent for closer collaboration in the RSM STAR Case Club next year. Saleh, Chloe, Vincent, Artus and Nathan, thank you very much. Next to that, I would like to thank Linda de Vries and Otto Kopjes for their support to both the RSM STAR Case Society as well as the case competition. They have been and are a constant factor throughout the years and the reason that we, as STAR, but also as RSM, are able to organize this competition. Then moving on to the organizing committee. Since May 2019, you've been working hard to organize a physical RSM STAR Case Competition 2020. Unfortunately, due to reasons known, we had to cancel the event. I have a great deal of respect for the way in which you, as a committee, coped with the situation. As soon as we cancelled the competition, you started working on the online format. And within a month after this decision, you pulled it off. For the first time in RSM and STAR's history, you managed to organize an online case competition. By doing so, you demonstrated resilience, flexibility, and creativity. Then moving on to you as individuals. Starting off with Lisa, the RSM STAR Case Competition chairman and clearly the leader of the group. Kind but strict. To-dos had to be finished on time, and for everything you had a system that worked. When one of your fellow committee members had an issue, they always turned to you. You demonstrated decisiveness, but above all, great leadership in challenging times. Your stakeholders loved the way you did your work. I'm pretty confident that both Linda de Vries, director of RSM's international office, and I agree when I say that you did an excellent job without ever taking credits for it. Just an excellent job. Well done. Moving on to Fabio, Maatje, our marketing and social manager. You're not a morning person. Whenever we had a Teams meeting before, let's say 11, you would still be lying in bed. Despite, you got your work done. As commissioner of events, you closed deals with various great locations throughout Rotterdam. However, also after you decided to cancel the event and switch to this online format, you remained the fun and positive person you always are, often lifting the committee spirits. I am confident that besides working hard to do your job, you have had a significant contribution to the group bonding processes. You are an excellent marketing manager, but above all, a great person. Matthijs, our treasurer and second social manager, in charge of managing the budget. In fierce discussions, you would generally keep silent, knowing that at some point they will be looking at you to find whether it fits the budget. Because in the end, it's all about the money. Within no time after cancelling the physical competition, you had prepared a contingency budget detailing the costs required to make this online format work. With the financial picture in mind, you were able to convince all stakeholders and case partners. Great job, well done. Simone, the program manager. Your presence never goes unnoticed. From time to time, you had the tendency to jump from one subject to the other whilst in the middle of a fierce discussion. At the same time, you always managed to do your job on time. The output you create is, sometimes in contrast to your contributions in the meetings, extremely structured and detailed. Great characteristics for a program, I would say. You always go the extra mile, aspiring to get the most out of it. Amazing job. Thank you very much. Katinka, the committee's commercial. Strangely enough, we often ended up talking about the case competition at multiple parties and informal drinks, which demonstrated your commitment. You were always willing to help others and have a clear goal in mind. The pressure to find case partners, combined with various other commitments outside of the case competitions, sometimes made you feel stressed. But I saw you grow and develop in your position and your stakeholder management. You did a great job in finding case partners and jury members, as well as supporting your fellow committee members. Well done. Pim, our second commercial and unofficial vice chairman. Pim, Pim, Pim. You definitely have the worst sense of humor I have ever seen and experienced. At the same time, however, you are extremely ambitious, persuasive, and have a great eye for detail and design. I have seen you in better and worse times. Just a few weeks ago, you joined a morning meeting after having slept for 3 hours, since you spent the whole night designing the 6-hour case. For you, it is always the result that counts. Thank you for being part of this committee and doing everything you can to make it work. I would like to conclude my speech with the following remark to all of you, the organizing committee. Normally, the past few weeks would have been characterized by a period of full-time office work. A period to which I was very much looking forward to, finally being able to be part of these intense weeks. Being part of your WhatsApp group, however, also gave me an insight into how you behaved as a group. Next to the hard work and long hours you put into this project, there was always room for jokes and informal chit-chats. Having seen this, you did not only grow professionally, but also became friends. Be proud on what you have achieved during the past year, but more importantly, cherish your friendship. Of course, this achievement can go unnoticed, which is why I, or PostNL of course, will deliver presents to your houses during the coming week. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the participants for participating in this online case competition. And I hope that we will all be able to see you next year for the RSM Star Case Competition 2021, also in the middle of April. We hope to see you then. Back to you, Lisa.
Forward to meeting you in real life again, to have an actual after party. So now I would like to take that to you as well. I will just move this away. So I will have to speak on behalf of the entire committee to thank you as well for your tremendous support that you have given us over the past year. From the moment we first met you, you were always there to guide us. And in the beginning, the task of organizing the case competition seemed quite daunting to us. And then you were always there to give us a motivational speech. And also, whenever we reached an important milestone, you were always there to give us sweets or cupcakes or even champagne. And that always made us very motivated to go on and reach the next milestone. Also, I already mentioned it before, you did an amazing job in establishing the Case Club, for which you needed many qualities like perseverance, patience, creativity, and of course, being very good at communicating with all these stakeholders involved. And these are all qualities that you definitely have and that definitely helped us in organizing the competition. I think we have also witnessed you grow a lot throughout the past year. And we believe that you have really grown into a great leader. Besides all of that, of course, you're just a really nice person, very fun to be around, and always happy to help. So, as I just mentioned before, we cannot wait to have our next borrel at Vader Kleinjan and to see you in your natural habitat again. So,
Me neither.
thanks a lot. All right. So then I will move on to the last part of this ceremony, which is thanking many, many people. Because there are many people that have made this competition possible. And I will try to mention them all. However, if I forget anyone, I'm already sorry right now. All right, so first of all, the judges. As mentioned before, you have done an amazing job in providing feedback to the participants and also in asking them very critical questions during the Q&A sessions. When we had to make the decision to move to an online format, everything was very insecure for us, and we really did not know whether it would be possible. When we heard that we still had the support of all judges, that really made the difference for us in going on and organizing the online competition. We are also very aware that we took quite a big chunk of your time, especially in these extraordinary times of Corona. So we are very honored that you were willing to take the time to collaborate with us, and we really hope to see you back again as judges in 2021. Then, of course, the case partners. Thank you so much to Royal Philips, Voorgoed, Yink, and Coca-Cola European Partners. You kept supporting us whenever there were insecurities, especially over the last month, and you were always willing to take the time to make this experience as good as possible through both the participants, the committee, and all the other stakeholders involved. You invested a lot of time in meeting with the Case Development Center to make sure the case was as good as possible and to make sure that all participants could actually understand the case, especially in the case of the Rotterdam case, whenever the participants were not able to actually travel to Rotterdam. So we really want to thank you for all the time that you have taken. Also, Mr. Grube and Mr. Van Boghoven for joining us today in the live stream. And we really hope to meet you in real life again very soon. Then, our sponsor Aon. Aon has really made it possible for us to organize this competition, and Aon has been supporting us over the past years in many of the other competitions that we have had before. We really hope that we can keep collaborating in the future, and we want to thank you for your continued support. Then, the Case Development Center. I would really like to thank Paula, Lauren, and Tao for all the effort that you put into writing the cases. I really believe I can speak on behalf of everyone when I say that the cases have really turned out very well. Of course, they were quite challenging, but I think that's actually what it's about challenging the participants in order to make them grow. So thank you so much for taking the time to write the cases. Then I would like to thank Linda de Vries. Linda, you have really helped us throughout the past year, and I really believe we couldn't have done it without you. I always really enjoyed having the meetings with you, especially because you always mentioned that you were so proud of us. Of course, we were really looking forward to having the after party with you because we know you enjoy it a lot, so we definitely hope we can do that later on. I also want to thank all the others from the international office, with a special mention for Sherida, who also took a lot of time to review all our letters for the partner universities and to help us in creating all the content. I really believe that the experience of the international office has taken this competition to a higher level. As for the participants, I would also like to mention that the international office will also offer you all an RSM t-shirt that will be sent your way. Then, I would like to thank InnoFlow and especially Thomas, but also all his colleagues. We contacted InnoFlow 1 month ago when we decided to make the online competition go on. At that time, the InnoFlow team only had 1 month left to create the online platform, and they did a really good job in doing so. They were always ready to help, even when we contacted them late at night or at weekends. We hope we can still use your software in the upcoming years. However, maybe in a different form, as we of course do not hope to have an online competition next year. Then I would like to thank our supervisory board. Our supervisory board consisted of previous CACO members who had a lot of experience in organizing the case competition. The supervisory board has really helped us in the meetings that we had with them to make sure we wouldn't make any of the stupid mistakes that we were about to make. They were always ready to give us help and we could always message them in case we faced any trouble. Then I would also like to thank the STAR board for all their support. Not only Tommy, but also all the other board members. And then I have come to the most important part of this closing, which is of course thanking my committee. Tommy has already touched upon everyone once, but I'll do it again. First, our program manager Simone. Simone faced an enormous challenge when she had to transfer to an online program last minute. She had already set up an entire program when she had to change it all while taking 5 different time zones into account. Simone, you did an extraordinary job in doing so. And of course, besides that, you're just a very fun person and you're always smiling. Sometimes all those smiles were a little annoying when we had to focus, but you always managed to cheer us up, which is of course the most important part. Then our marketing and events manager, Fabio. As Tommy has mentioned before, Fabio had scouted the most amazing locations in and around Rotterdam that we were supposed to visit for our ceremonies throughout the week. I really admire the fact that you, Fabio, did not give up when you had to cancel all those locations. And I definitely believe that we will be able to visit some of the locations in the competition of next year. And I really look forward to that because I know how amazing they are. And after cancelling all the locations, you did not give up because you had another task left, the marketing task. I know you did not always like it, but you did a great job and you always gave full effort. You really managed to make sure that our Facebook page was great to look at. Of course, besides that, you're always in for a joke and you're always there to make the entire committee laugh. Then our commercial relations manager, Pim. Together with Katinka, you did an amazing job in finding the case partners and of course finding the judges. Furthermore, you have an amazing work ethic and you're always there to help. You would never stop at 12 at 12 p.m., you would just go on for the entire night if that was needed to finish your work. I have a lot of respect for the work ethic that you have, and I'm very proud of you. Then Katinka, our commercial relations manager, who is here right now. Together with Pim, you did an amazing job in finding the case partners and of course finding the judges, but you're also very good at managing the stakeholders. Besides that, you're very down to earth, which really helped us whenever we were in stressful situations, and you were always there to lead the committee into the right direction. And then for our treasurer Matthijs. We could always entrust Matthijs with the money, and whenever we gave Matthijs a task, we would definitely know that he would finish it and finish it in the right way. Besides that, he was of course one of our two social managers. Together with Fabio, he did a really good job in crafting the social program, and I believe all participants really enjoyed that. Besides that, Matthijs is always ready to help anyone out. And of course, Matthijs, you're also a really calm person, which helped us in stressful situations. Then, for the entire committee as a whole, I'm so proud of all of you for your hard work, definitely in the last month. And I will definitely not forget this past year that we have experienced together. All the endless meetings that we had, the long nights that we had to stay awake because there were case releases at the other side of the world, and of course all the fun that we had. I cannot wait until we can celebrate in a real after party after this crisis, and I think we have really become friends over the past year. Then, as for the very last part of this ceremony, I would like to thank the faculty advisors, because they really made it possible for the participants to participate. And of course that might have been quite hard when you were not in the same room with the team, but you still managed to motivate all the students to participate. And then of course the participants themselves. I think it's admirable that you did not give up on participating in the competition when you heard that it would not be in real life. Because of course a big part of the fun is traveling to another country and meeting all the other participants. However, you did not give up and you still managed to learn and to develop in these challenging times. I really want to give you all a big compliment because all the solutions that we received were of top level, and I look forward to seeing you in real life, hopefully sometime soon. I now want to thank anyone else that I might have forgotten because we've received a lot of help over the past months. And then we have come to the end of the ceremony. I hope the faculty advisors and participants will join us at 3:30 in our social session through Microsoft Teams. And for all the others that watched, thank you so much for taking the time to watch our ceremony. And we definitely are looking forward to seeing you in 2021, hopefully in real life, and otherwise we'll make sure to make the online format work again. For now, stay safe and stay healthy, and I look forward to seeing you in real life again. Thank you.